Welcome to Carsplaining, where I learn about cars and take you along for the ride. Okay, so you're car shopping, right? And the salesperson says, don't worry, it only uses 6 liters per 100 kilometer. It sounds impressive, but is it actually good? Let's find out what this really means for your pocket. Okay, so in South Africa, most cars list fuel consumption in liters per 100 kilometers, or L-100 km for short. Now, this is a very important thing that you need to take note of when you are buying a car, because it basically tells you how good the fuel economy of the car is, right? Imagine you have a 50-liter tank. If your car says 6 liters per 100 kilometers, that means it will use 6 liters of fuel for every 100 kilometers traveled. So essentially, you could drive around 833 kilometers with your 50-liter tank before you have to refill. But here's the catch. That number, it's from lab testing. Think smooth roads, not South African roads, no traffic, perfect conditions. Basically not Joburg traffic at 5 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. Real life, unfortunately, is a little bit messier. You sit in traffic, fuel consumption goes up. You drive like you stole it, fuel consumption definitely goes up. Even the tire pressure and your aircon can add 10 to 20% more fuel burn. So how do I work out the affordability of my car's fuel consumption? Let's say you do 1,000 kilometers a month and petrol is 25 Rand a liter. 6 liters per 100 kilometers will cost you around 1,500 Rand a month. 10 liters per 100 kilometers will cost you 2,500 Rand in fuel a month. That's a difference of 1,000 Rand in fuel cost every month. So what about kilometer per liter? Sometimes you'll see kilometer per liter listed on a car's fuel consumption, km-L. With liter per 100 kilometers, you want the lowest. So you want 3 liters per 100 kilometers is better than 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Whereas with kilometer per liter, you want higher. Higher is better because essentially it is like, how far can I go with 1 liter of petrol? So driving 15 kilometers with 1 liter is better than driving 1 kilometer with 1 liter. That makes sense? I don't know why they use both. It's silly, honestly. It's confusing. So when you're comparing fuel consumption of cars that you might be interested in buying, look at urban fuel consumption, which takes into account everyday life, sitting in traffic, driving like you stole it, because honestly, who's not going to? That's closer to real life fuel consumption average, approximate. Also, what you can do is, if you want to really know what a car's fuel consumption is like, hop onto a Facebook group and ask other owners of the same car what they get, basically, because they will be able to give you a better estimate based on normal everyday life than what is listed on a website, which is usually based on lab testing. And remember, smaller engines with turbos can be surprisingly efficient if you drive them gently. Who's going to drive a car with a turbo gently? Not me. It depends. It depends what car it is. But if that's your cup of tea, then you won't be spending so much in fuel anyways. There you go. That's another episode of Carsplaining, where I learn about cars and I take you along on the ride so you can learn too. See you next time. Bye.